The Lost World. Francis de Wolff, Kevin McHugh, Gerald Harper, and Carleton Hobbs in a three-part serial adapted from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novel by Peggy Wells and Barry Campbell.
What on earth was that?
Nothing to trouble our slumbers.
Vast peace and quiet.
Malone, throw some wood on the fire.
Right. Got your rifle.
That row wasn't very far away from here. No further away, I'll swear, than the glade where we saw those...
Iguanodon?
Yes, that's it. And you're the Oracle, Professor Challenger. Now, what's going on out there?
A forest tragedy, Lord John. I spoke too soon.
Forest tragedy?
I warned you, gentlemen, that we might meet carnivorous monsters. Beasts of prey that could feed on lions and tigers as a cat feeds on mice.
Then you think...
The big, blundering iguanodon, small-brained and harmless, has been attacked by something that tore it in pieces as easily as you might rip up a sofa cushion.
Something bigger?
No, something smaller, but infinitely more deadly.
Well, I don't know what that bounder is. I'm past guessing anything by this time, but I only hope it's afraid of fire.
Why so?
Because it's heading towards this camp now.
How'd you know that?
You don't live in the bush without being able to smell trouble. And listen. You hear that?
Yes.
To judge by the sound, Professor Challenger,
Yes, Professor Summerlee?
I should say an allosaurus.
Or a megalosaurus?
Exactly. We speak with insufficient data and without actual sight of the creature.
Look here, Lord John, there's a big gap in our torn hedge. Do you think it can...
Get through?
Yes.
I don't know. Keep your rifle ready, young fella, and hand me a blazing stick out of the fire.
What are you going to do?
You'll see. But something's got to be done, and done in a hurry. It's outside the thorn hedge. Now. Brute?
The scientific mind, sir, is always alert.
Oh, my.
This creature which attacked us, this Allosaurus...
Or megalosaurus?
Thank you. This Allosaurus, or Megalosaurus, was somewhat repulsive to look at, reminding me forcibly of one or two of my colleagues in the scientific world. But science required a record of it. You agree, Professor Summerlee?
I agree, sir, that we must get off this plateau as quickly as we can. What we ought to be doing today, tomorrow, and all the time is finding some way out of the trap into which we've fallen. You're all turning your brains towards getting into the country. I say we should be scheming how to get out of it.
I am surprised, sir, that any man of science should commit himself to so ignoble a sentence. You suggest leaving this land before we've acquired more than the most superficial knowledge of it, all its contents.
You must remember that I have a large class in London who are at present at the mercy of an extremely inefficient locomotive.
I must say, I think it'd be a mighty poor thing to go back to London for. I know a great deal more of this place than I do at present.
I could never face old McCarthy, my editor. Still, it's not really worth discussing. We can't get down, even if we want to.
As our young friend observes, we cannot get down in any case, so it's a waste of energy to discuss it.
It's a waste of energy to do anything else. Let me remind you that we came here upon a perfectly definite mission to test the truth of Professor Challenger's statements. Those statements we are now in a position to endorse. Our ostensible work is therefore done. Professor Challenger has devised means for getting us onto this plateau when it appeared to be inaccessible. I think we should now call upon him to use the same ingenuity in getting us back to the world from which we came.
The problem of the descent is, at first sight, a formidable one, yet I cannot doubt that the intellect can solve it. I am prepared to agree with Professor Summerlee that a protracted stay in Maple White Land is, at present, inadvisable. At the same time, I refuse to leave until we have made at least a superficial examination of this country and are able to take back with us something in the nature of a chart.
The one intelligent suggestion has come from Malone here. Tomorrow, he must climb the biggest tree and make a map of the plateau. Then our work is done.
Look here, young fella, can you do it?
Do what?
Swarm up that tree without breaking your neck. It's tricky work. Why, it must be 80 foot high.
I'll do it, Lord John, if I do break my neck. This is the first time I've contributed anything to this show.
Not at all, my boy, not at all.
And I used to be pretty good at trees when I was a boy in Ireland.
What about apes, though?
apes, sir.
Well, Malone saw a nasty-looking ape human in that tree. What if it's got friends?
I'll risk that. Just give me a chance to prove I'm good for something. Tomorrow, when there's a good light and I can get a grip on that tree, I'll go up, high up, to the topmost branches.
Malone! I say, Malone! Can you hear me?
My dear sir, he can't hear you. He's too far up among the foliage.
But he's been gone in that tree for hours. If anything's happened up there.
If anything had happened, Lord John,
Well?
the law of gravity would have returned him in short order. Rest easy.
Hello,
Oh, listen. I thought I heard.
Hello, down there!
Malone! Are you all right?
Perfectly all right. Just a bit winded.
Did you find
You're half a tick. Give the lad a chance to get down.
Stand clear. I'm going to swing from the lowest branch and drop.
You all right, young fella?
Fine, thanks.
Well, sir, and what did you see?
I've been clear to the top. I could see for miles. I've got a sketch of the whole country here in this notebook. And I can tell you what's in the middle of the plateau.
Yes, what is in the middle?
A lake.
A lake, eh?
A big lake with red cliffs on the other side. And, I think, caves in the cliffs. What's more, I swear the caves are inhabited.
Well, by these ape things, you mean?
No, by human beings. Like Indians. This is the biggest thing yet. Can't we set off now and explore it?
My dear young man.
Can't we?
You must learn, Mr. Malone, to curb your natural impatience. I myself am never impatient, and I find it helps me in life. Much too late to go exploring. Well, I must say, Mr. Malone, that you have done very well.
By George, he has.
This lake in the middle, what shall we call it? It's up to you to name the lake, my young friend. You saw it first. If you want to call it Lake Malone.
Not Lake Malone, no, but
But what?
I want to call it Lake Gladys.
Lake Gladys?
Yes. Why not?
Oh, this is most unscientific. It wouldn't look well on a map.
Who in blazes cares how it looks on a map? If Malone wants to name it after his gal, why not?
Professor Summerlee, I think, has never been young.
Huh?
Ah, gentlemen, the season of youth. How much I sympathize. How well I remember. I myself, I fear, was well known in my youth as something of a Don Juan.
You, sir?
Aye, sir. And why not?
It seems to me improbable, sir, that any young lady not totally blind could view your countenance without the gravest perturbation.
Lord John,
Yes, young fella?
don't you think that Dr. Illingworth of Edinburgh is a man of very distinguished appearance?
Ah, yes, I do,
I
as it happens. That's got 'em. Go on, pile it on. All the same, Challenge is right, you know, about one thing. We can't go exploring that lake until tomorrow.
But I could. And like a fool, I did. The full moon was shining brightly that night, and the rest of them were asleep when the great idea came to me. Suppose I crept out of the camp now and explored the central lake and came back at breakfast time with a full account of it. And out I slipped, while Summerlee, the most futile of sentinels, dozed by the fire. It was a fearsome walk. How can I convey the utter silence, the loneliness, the emptiness of that forest moonlight? Emptiness, and yet shadows seemed to prowl on padded feet. It might have been 2:30 in the morning when I saw a gleam of water through the jungle. There was the lake. But it was not at the lake that I stared in amazement. It was at the cliffs beyond, where I had seen the caves that afternoon. Now I could see tiny discs of light along those caves. Fires. Fires lighted by the hand of man. This was proof to take back on my homeward journey. I was more than halfway back, emerging from the dreadfulness of the forest when... What's that? No movement of the shadows or moonlight. But 1/2 mile more along that road and... Then it flashed across me that the beast, whatever it was, must surely be after me. I remembered again the blood-slobbered face we had seen in the light of Lord John's torch. Then I saw it. The movement of the bushes when it hopped out into clear moonlight, hopping like a monstrous moving shadow. I turned to run, but to my horror I found I could not move. Sheer terror held me frozen to the spot. A rifle shot. Something was happening to my companions back at the camp. I must help them. Then I began to run. Up to then, the beast had hunted by scent, and his movement was slow. But now he had seen me. Now, as he came round the curve in the path, he was gaining on me in great bounds. The moonlight shone on his huge projecting eyes, on the row of enormous teeth in his open mouth, and the gleaming claws of his forearms. His thick, gasping breathing seemed louder and louder. I could hear the thud, thud, thud as he overtook me. Then he was beside me. Every instant I expected to feel his grip on my back. Then I felt myself falling. When I came to my senses, I found myself at the bottom of an evil-smelling pit. By the clear light of the moon, I was able to see the great, blood-stained, sharpened stake pointing towards the sky, and I realized that the pit was a trap, dug by man, in order to trap monsters, and that stumbling into the pit had saved my life. Then I remembered the rifle shots I had heard, and scrambling hurriedly to my feet, I began the laborious climb out of the pit. I had to get back to the camp. Professor Challenger! Lord John! Professor Summerlee! Where are you? My companions were gone. The cold light of dawn showed our camp wrecked, our effects scattered, and close to the smouldering ashes of our fire, the trampled grass was stained with blood. I was so stunned that for a time I think I must have nearly lost my reason. I have a vague recollection of rushing about through woods all round the empty camp, wildly calling their names. But no answer came back. It was 24 hours later, in the grey light of another dawn, when I was roused out of tortured sleep by a touch on my arm, and there in front of me, pale, wild-eyed, scratched, and blood-stained.
I say, young fella.
Lord John!
Keep your voice down.
You're alive.
And if we want to stay alive, young fella, we'd better get a move on. Thank God they didn't damage the rifles.
Who didn't damage the rifles?
The ape men.
So that's it. What happened?
Well, it was early in the morning.
Yesterday morning?
Yes. Our learned friends were just stirring, hadn't even begun to argue yet. All of a sudden, it rained apes. They came down as thick as apples from a tree. I shot one of them through the belly.
I heard the shots.
But they had us down before we could move. Mind you, I call them apes, but they carried sticks and stones. They jabbered to each other, ended up by tying our hands with creepers.
The apes did that?
Apes or ape men, they're a kind of missing link, and I wish to God they'd stayed missing.
And then?
They carried off their wounded friend. He was bleeding like a pig.
Then it wasn't any of you. What about Challenger and Summerlee?
Now, look here, young fella, there's no time to explain now. You take 2 of the rifles, I'll take the other 2, and as much food and ammunition as you can cram into your pockets. Now, hurry.
What for?
Anywhere away from this camp.
You mean...
They'll be heading straight for here as soon as they discover I've escaped. Now, get a move on or we're done.
But Challenger and Summerlee...
I tell you, there is no time to explain now. Into the brush. Follow me. This ought to do. Keep down.
You think the apes are close to us?
Well, they'll have scouting parties all through the forest. You better load those guns.
But what happened?
Happened?
After the apes tied you up.
Oh, that's just it. Old Challenger managed to struggle onto his feet, tied up and all, and started raving at them like a lunatic. If there'd been a row of his favourite pressmen, he couldn't have slanged them worse. But that's the funny part of it. It was Challenger's looks that saved us.
Challenger's what?
Challenger's looks. When he began slanging them, I thought it was the end of us, but, well, they started jabbering themselves. Then one of them stood out beside Challenger, and word of honour, they might have been kinsmen.
What?
This old ape man, he was their chief, was a sort of red challenger, with every one of our friend's beauty points, only a trifle more so.
Challenger at the ape?
That's right.
Did you point this out to the police?
Well, dash it all, he must have seen that for himself.
I wonder.
When the ape man stood by Challenger, put its paw on his shoulder, the thing was complete. Summerlee was a bit hysterical. He laughed till he cried.
What about the ape men?
Well, they laughed too, or at least they put up the devil of a cackling. Then they set to work to drag us off through the forest. Summerlee and I got a bit of rough handling, but Challenger was all right. I mean, they carried him shoulder high, like a Roman emperor.
Duck down.
Is that the ape man? Yes. That's the row they make when they get excited.
Should we fire at them?
No, not unless they see us. We've got a surprise rescue to make.
Surprise rescue?
Oh, I know. They haven't seen us. I think they're going past.
What were you saying about a rescue?
Now, look here, young fella, this next bit, it's not a bit pleasant.
Go on.
These apes, they've got a kind of town, huts made out of leaves and branches. Well, it's about 4 to 5 miles from here. It's near the edge of the cliff. Well, when we got there, they tied us up. The fellow who handled me could tie like a bosun, and there we lay with our toes up beneath a tree, while a great brute stood guard over us with a club in his hand.
We?
Summerlee and myself. Old Challenger was up a tree, eating pines, having the time of his life. If you'd seen him sitting up in that tree, hobnobbing with his twin brother.
I can guess, but you couldn't have found it very funny at the time.
Well, we weren't in much mood for laughing. They let Challenger do what he liked, within limits, but they drew the line pretty sharply at Summerlee and me. It was a mighty consolation to us all to know that you were running loose, young fella. Had the archives in your keeping. Well, now I'll tell you what's going to surprise you.
I doubt whether I can be surprised at anything else, Lord John.
You say you saw signs of men and fires over in those caves by the lake?
Yes.
Well, we've seen the natives, little down-faced chaps, like Indians. You see, it seems the humans hold one side of this plateau over yonder, where you saw the caves, and the ape men hold this side. And there's bloody war between them. Yesterday, the apes got hold of a dozen Indians. Brought them in as prisoners. You never heard such a jabbering and shrieking in your life. The men were little red fellas. They'd been bitten and clawed so they could hardly walk. The ape men put 2 of them to death there and then. Fairly pulled the arm off one of them. Yeah, it was perfectly beastly. Turned us absolutely sick, and the business afterwards. God, it was awful. This morning, there's to be another ceremony.
Ceremony? What do you mean?
You remember those sharp bamboo canes below the plateau? Where we found...
Well, we found the skeleton.
That's it.
You mean?
Yes. This town is the jumping-off place for prisoners. They chuck them over the edge there. The game is to see whether they're just dashed to pieces or they get skewered on the bamboo canes below. 6 of the Indians went yesterday, and this morning.
Not Challenger and Summerlee, too.
Summerlee for certain. Challenger, too, if they turn nasty.
And you?
Oh, I was included in it, though. It seemed to me our only chance was for me to get away, pick up the rifles, try a rescue. Well, now that you're here...
How soon will they...
I don't know. And that's why we'd better hide.
2 men, 4 rifles. Can we do it?
We've got to do it, young fella. We've got to do it. There. Listen.
Is that Ape Town?
Yes. Part the bushes. Careful and look through.
An open space lay before us. All green turf and low bracken growing to the very edge of the cliff. Round this clearing was a semicircle of trees with huts built of foliage. The opening of these huts, the branches of the trees, were thronged with ape people. In the open near the edge of the cliff stood some 100 of these shaggy, red-haired creatures. And a little group of Indians stood among them, small and brown-skinned against their huge guards. That was when 2 of the ape guards darted forward towards one of the Indians. They caught him by the leg and arm. They swung him backwards, forwards, backwards again, and... My God, I can't stand this.
Easy now. Keep your hands off that trigger.
We can't let them go on with it.
We're not going to. Just pick your man before you start firing.
Look at them. Delighted as maniacs. Rushing to the edge to see whether...
See whether it was the ground or the bamboos, yes.
But where's Challenger? Where's Summerlee?
Well, there's Challenger. Can't you see him?
Good Lord, I didn't...
Recognize him from the apes? No.
Have we got a chance?
Yes, and more than a chance. Look, there.
What is it?
Indians, young fella. Pals of these poor devils, on the edge of the clearing, creeping up for a surprise attack while the apes are occupied. If we attack when the Indians do...
We could drive the whole tribe straight over the edge of the cliff.
If we're lucky, yes.
Oh, John, it's too late. They've got Summerlee now.
Rifle up, my lad. Get ready.
But we can't fire into the middle of them. We might hit Summerlee.
The crowd will have to stand back when they begin to swing him. There.
Instructions?
You take the guard on the left. I'll take the guard on the right. Fire when I count 3. 1.
The Indians are creeping forward. I saw them move.
Never mind the Indians. Draw your sights on that guard. 2.
It's the Ape King himself who's got hold of Summerlee on one side. He's yours. You drill him. But they've swung that body for the 3rd time. If you don't hurry up and give the order...
3.
You've got him! You've got the Ape King!
Shoot into the thick of them. Go on, sonny. Shoot!
Magazine after magazine we emptied, and with our 4 guns the 2 of us made horrible havoc. Both of Summerlee's guards were dead. He was staggering about like a drunken man. But Challenger seized him, a nightmare Challenger, with matted black beard and clothes in rags. And they ran towards us. Then, out of the woods poured the Indians, with bows and spears for weapons, and the battle was joined.
Challenger! Summerlee this way!
You think they can see us?
Oh, they see us all right. Keep on firing.
Professor Challenger!
Oh, you were right. Almost too late.
It's not necessary to support me, sir. I'm quite capable of walking upright.
Not only we as individuals, but European science collectively owe you a deep debt of gratitude for what you've done. I do not hesitate...
Never mind that, old chap. Just here's a rifle. Use it. These Indians are as active as cats when they go in with a spear.
Find their arrows. The place is humming with them.
Ah, I got a hit then. I distinctly got a hit.
One last go may do it. Now step quick now and keep firing.
Forward the battle surged on the very edge of the plateau. Apemen and Indians, clubs against spears, rolled over together. Others broke towards the woods. The Indians might have gone down, crushed under clubs, if it hadn't been for our rifles. Then, in a moment, came panic and collapse. Shrieking and howling, the Apemen streamed in mad disorder towards the brushwood, with Indians in pursuit. The scream of battle soared just before it died away.
All right, my lads. That's done it.
Is it over?
All but the tidying up. And the less we see of the tidying up, the better we're going to sleep.
You need not blench, Professor Summerlee. You need feel no regret at what has happened this day. I, George Edward Challenger, say that we have been privileged.
Privilege, sir.
Privileged, sir, to be present at one of the typical, decisive battles of history. Of man against ape, of man against nature. And at last, man is supreme on the platform.
Wait a minute.
What's wrong
There
now?
are a dozen Indians, important-looking fellas, too, coming back out of that wood. Coming towards us.
You don't think they regard us as enemies?
We can't tell. Steady now.
Here. Wait a minute.
Good gracious.
Enemies, did you say?
Oh, John, the whole gang are going down on their knees, practically prostrating themselves. Can't you do anything?
Well, how in blazes can I talk to
But
them?
this is...
Oh, get up, little fella. No, take your face off my boots. Oh, hang it all.
This is certainly most distasteful. Don't you find it uncomfortable, Professor Challenger?
I, sir, find it most interesting.
Interesting, sir.
These Indians may be undeveloped types, it's true, but their deportment in the presence of their superiors might be a lesson to some of our more advanced Europeans. Strange how correct are the instincts of natural man.
What's that?
It's all right, young fella. It's only one of the Indians who hasn't seen Challenger before.
Hasn't seen me before?
Oh, take it easy, little chap. Don't run away. He's only human.
Really, sir?
Hang it all, man. It's lucky for you that you are a little out of the ordinary. You hadn't been so like the king of the apes.
Oh, upon my word, Lord John, you allow yourself great latitude.
Well, it's a fact, ain't it?
I beg, sir, that you will change the subject. Your remarks are irrelevant and unintelligible. Mr. Malone.
Yes, sir?
You keep a diary of these events, I believe. You expect eventually to publish it?
That's right, sir.
You may have heard just now some rather fatuous remarks which seem to imply that there was some resemblance.
Yes, I heard them.
I need not say that any publicity given to such an idea, any levity in your narrative, would be exceedingly offensive to me.
I will keep well within the truth.
The king of the ape men was really a creature of great distinction. A most remarkably handsome and intelligent personality. Didn't it strike you?
Most remarkable creature.
Is it any good, sir, arguing what Mr. Malone will or will not publish, when he will never return alive to publish it?
I beg your pardon, sir. I was about to announce, before this unmannerly interruption,
Well, sir?
that I have already found a way down from the plateau.
You've already... Do you know what you're saying, old chap?
Perfectly well, Lord John.
A way down? But how?
You observed, I think, that I showed no sign of surprise at the homage of these intelligent Indians.
All right, what about it?
You also observe among them now a taller Indian, clearly a chief of some description.
The Indian to whom you refer was a captive with us among the apes. Well, sir?
Well, sir, it seemed obvious to me that centuries of contact between ape and human, if only the contact of warfare, must have developed some means of communication between them. By closely observing the sign language, I was easily able to imitate the ape. That is to say, I was able to establish a rude working means of communication with the Indian before you.
You don't mean you can talk these fellas' lingo?
No, but I flatter myself that we understand each other. Does Mr. Malone remember describing a line of caves on the other side of the plateau?
Yes. You mean...
The way down, gentlemen, lies in a tunnel leading from those caves.
How are you sure of this?
The Indian before you drew me what I believe to be a rough map of it, and I venture to predict that 24 hours more will see us safely on solid earth again.
Oh, God. Back to England.
Back to civilization.
Back to Gladys.
Professor Challenger, this is inspiration.
Professor Summerlee, not at all.
We must start immediately.
Hold on a bit. We'll start fast enough, but not before I've had another look at that pterodactyl swamp.
Lord John, will you tell us the meaning of your constant references to the pterodactyl swamp?
Oh, in good time, old chap, in good time. But I say, Professor Summerlee, why on earth are you looking so uneasy?
For the first time, Lord John, I begin to have qualms.
Qualms? Why?
We have, if you recall, a report to make to the Zoological Institute.
I recall it.
We have travelled far into the unknown. But I asked the question before, and I ask it now in a newspaper. What will they say of this in England?
That, sir, remains to be seen. Meanwhile, I suggest that we begin making preparations for our departure with the utmost secrecy.
You mean...
I mean, sir, that it would perhaps be better if the Indians do not know what we are about. They might not take too kindly to our sudden departure. Now, here's what we shall do. Quietly gather together what belongings we now possess, plus one or two other small items as may be necessary, and then, in 2 days from now, at dawn, while the Indians are still asleep, we shall endeavor to make our escape through the gate.
Careful, young fella. Oh, you nearly had me over.
Sorry, but this crate's damned heavy. Yeah. Perhaps if you were to lower your end slightly. That's better.
Come along. Don't hang back.
Sorry, but this thing's heavy. What is it?
Wait and see. Now, hurry.
I can't see a thing. I do wish, Professor Challenger, that you wouldn't rush on so with the torch.
Well, keep up, sir. Listen. What's that?
Drums. Oh, that's torn it. They've discovered we're missing.
Blast!
Oh, what's that?
It's
what
left. What's happening?
Oh, there's not the slightest need for panic. The torch has blown out. I shall relight it.
There. Now, come along. Can't be much further. According to the map, it was only a... Oh, what's the matter? Why, it's a dead end. A cul-de-sac.
Then we're done.
No, we're not. Come back here, Professor.
What?
Don't you remember the map showed a small fork just before the tunnel ended? Just about here. No. Farther back. Bring the torch. That's it. Just about where the torch blew out. Don't you see? The torch blew out.
By Jove, he's right. Look, the entrance to another tunnel.
Shall we try it?
We've no choice. Come on.
Look, what's that? Careful, Professor.
Challenger stuff, I figure.
It's a wall of flame across the cave.
Then we're trapped.
Indeed we are not, gentlemen. It's the sun shining right into the mouth of the tunnel.
What? Then we're through, boys. We're through.
And so we were. and after a short descent by rope, we found ourselves at the foot of those sinister cliffs. Save for Challenger's mysterious luggage, we had no difficulties. Then we set out to locate Zambo's camp, only to find to our great delight that a rescue party had already arrived there. And shortly afterwards, we began the long journey home. And so we returned in triumph to England. Almost as soon as the liner docked at Southampton, we were hurried off, luggage and all, to London, there to attend the extraordinary meeting of the Zoological Institute, which was to be held at the Queen's Hall in Regent Street. We had agreed beforehand not to talk to reporters, other than to say that our expedition had been successful. And so, when we were eventually led onto the platform, we faced a packed hall with the audience in a high state of curiosity and excitement.
Well, young fella, seems 100 years ago since that last meeting, don't it? I say, you haven't heard a word I've been saying? What's up, nervous?
No, I'm sorry. I was just thinking, perhaps I should have contacted Gladys.
Oh, I see. I shouldn't worry if I were you. Give her a surprise. I'm told women like surprises.
Yes, but all the same, I think...
Fun's about to start, I think.
Professor Challenger.
Yes, Professor Summerlee?
I have observed a certain person in the audience, and the presence of this villain, I repeat, sir, villain, fills me with the greatest disquiet. Look at the aisle seat beside the stage.
I see him, Professor Summerlee. Surely that can only be the deplorable countenance of...
Yes.
Who is it?
Quiet, young fella. The chairman's going to begin. Quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, I shall not, ladies and gentlemen, stand for more than a moment between you and the treat which lies before you. It is not for me to anticipate what Professor Summerlee, the spokesman of this committee, has to say to you. It is common rumor, however, that their expedition has been crowned with extraordinary success. And I shall, without further ado, introduce to you the spokesman of the party, Professor Summerlee, FRS.
Did you hear, sir, a sound distinctly resembling a hiss?
I heard it.
Did you observe that it came from the person in the aisle?
Get up, old chap. Begin your speech.
Who is this villain in the aisle seat?
Get up, Professor. Get up.
But who is he? He may cause trouble.
You can't mean it.
Young man, that is Dr. Illingworth of Edinburgh.
Professor Summerlee, FRS.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you will no doubt remember that at the last meeting of this society, Professor Challenger made certain observations regarding the supposed survival of certain prehistoric monsters and of a lost world. At that time also, and in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I have only this to say. These things are true. The pterodactyl, the iguanodon, the megalosaurus, and all forms of animal life I have described to you lived and had their being before our eyes. You have honored me with a deep silence following my words. What that silence may portend, I cannot tell. But I have been asked to render my report to this institute, and I have done so. Mighty is truth, and will prevail. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman!
That's Illingworth. He does mean trouble.
Steady now.
Mr. Chairman! Mr. Chairman! Yes, Dr. Illingworth.
I believe that a resolution of thanks to these gentlemen is to be moved by Professor Sergius.
Yes, sir, that is so.
Is it not the procedure for an amendment to be taken before a resolution?
Yes, sir, if there must be an amendment.
Mr. Chairman, there must be an amendment.
May I ask, Mr. Chairman, whether I have leave to put Dr. Illingworth into the street?
For the love of Mike, easy.
Illingworth's climbing up on the platform. That's done it.
Ladies and gentlemen of this audience, hear me. At a previous meeting of this society, one man, Professor Challenger, said certain things. Now 4 men say other and more startling things. I admit that the members of this committee are men of character, but even distinguished professors may be misled by the desire for notoriety. Heavy game shots like to cap the tails of their rivals, and journalists surely are not averse from sensational coups. Each member of this committee had his own desire to make the most of the results. I have no desire to be offensive.
You are, sir.
The corroboration of these wonderful tales is really of the most slender description. What does it amount to? Some photographs. Is it possible that such can be taken as evidence? What more? We have a story of a flight and a descent by ropes, which precluded the production of larger specimens. Ingenious, but not convincing. I understand that Lord John Roxton claimed to have the skull of an iguanodon. I can only say that I should like to see that skull.
Is this fella calling me a liar?
Dr. Illingworth, I must direct you to bring your remarks to a conclusion and to move your amendment.
Now for the fight, young fella. Challenger's on his feet, and he's got the gloves off.
He's certainly having an arresting effect on this mob. There was a free fight going on at the back.
Quiet, sonny, quiet.
It will be in the memory of many present that similar foolish and unmannerly scenes marked the last meeting at which I made an address. On that occasion, Professor Summerlee was the chief offender. Though he is now chastened and contrite, the matter cannot be entirely forgotten. I have heard tonight similar, but even more offensive sentiments from the person who has just sat down. And though it is a conscious effort of self-effacement to come down to that person's mental level, I will endeavor to do so. I have safely conducted these 3 gentlemen to the spot mentioned, and I have, as you have heard, convinced them of the accuracy of my previous account. We had hoped to find on our return that no one was so dense as to dispute our joint conclusions. Warned, however, by my previous experience, I have not come without such proofs as may convince a reasonable man. 8 men ransacked our camp, and most of our photographic negatives were ruined.
Tell us another one.
In mentioning 8 men, I cannot forbear from saying that some of the sounds which now meet my ears bring back most vividly to my recollection my experience with those interesting creatures. In spite of the destruction of so many invaluable negatives, there still remains in our collection a certain number of corroborative photographs showing the conditions of life upon the planet. We could only bring with us a limited amount of luggage, but Professor Summerlee's collection of butterflies and beetles and many new species is intact. Is this not evidence?
No.
Who said no?
Our point is that such a collection might have been made in other places than a prehistoric plateau.
No doubt, sir. We have to bow to your scientific authority, although I must admit that the name is unfamiliar. Passing, then, both the photographs and the entomological collection, I come to the varied and accurate information which we bring with us, upon points which have never before been elucidated. For example, upon the domestic habits of the pterodactyl. I say that upon the domestic habits of the pterodactyl, we can throw a flood of light. I can exhibit to you from my portfolio a picture of that creature, taken from life, which would convince you.
No picture could convince us of anything.
You would require to see the thing itself, Dr. Illingworth?
Certainly.
And you would accept that?
Beyond a doubt.
Then came the sensation of the evening, an event unparalleled in the history of scientific gatherings. Professor Challenger raised his hand in the air as a signal. Lord John Roxton rose to his feet immediately and made his way to the back of the platform, and with Zambo, our faithful Negro servant, He dragged forward a packing case. There wasn't a sound in the hall, and all eyes were fixed on the case. Professor Challenger slid the lid open. Peering down into the box, he snapped his fingers several times.
Come then, pretty. Come on, pretty. Come along, pretty.
Even the unexpected fall of the chairman into the orchestra pit failed to distract the petrified attention of the vast audience. The pterodactyl, for such it was, though a baby one, glared upon them with malicious red eyes, as bright as points of burning coal. Its long, savage mouth showed a double row of pointed teeth. Its shoulders were humped, and its folded wings were draped round them like a faded grey shawl. It was the devil of everyone's childhood, in person.
It's going up! Grab it! No, I can't reach it. It's flying straight towards the balcony.
The window! For heaven's sake, shut the window!
Too late, old chap. It's gone.
Suddenly it seemed that everyone was on his feet. Everyone was moving, shouting, gesticulating. A dense crowd of cheering students surged round us. My three companions were hoisted shoulder high. In vain they strove to break loose. I managed to get away in the melee, and I watched them as they were carried out through the main doors and out into the street. It seemed that thousands of people were waiting, blocking the streets from side to side. The crowd set forth, down Regent Street, Pall Mall, St. James's Street, and Piccadilly. And it was not until after midnight that the travellers were released at the entrance to Lord John Roxton's chambers in the Albany. Meanwhile, I managed to slip away, for I had a most important call to make in Streatham.
Yes, what is it?
Gladys. Gladys. Don't you recognize me? It's Ned. Ned Malone.
Yes, I recognize you, Ned. What do you want? Who is it, Gladys?
Gladys, listen. What's the matter? You are Gladys Hungerton, aren't you?
No, Ned. I am Gladys Potts. Let me introduce you to my husband. Come in, won't you?
You? What?
My husband. William? Didn't you get my letter?
No. I got no letter.
Oh, what a pity, Ned. It would have made everything quite clear.
Yes. What is it, dear?
I think it is quite clear.
This is my husband, William Potts, Ned Malone. I'm very sorry about this, Ned, but your love couldn't have been very deep, could it? If you could go off to the other end of the world and leave me here alone. Say something, will you?
No offence, Mr. Malone. It's always like this, ain't it? And must be, unless you have polygamy, only the other way round. You're not angry, are you?
No, not at all. But may I ask you a question?
Well, within reason.
How did you do it?
Do what?
Have you searched...
I'm a solicitor's clerk, the second man at Johnson & Merivale's 41 Chancery Lane.
Thank you. My friends are waiting. Good night. It was a little later that night when Challenger and Summerlee and Lord John and I sat around the table in Lord John's rooms.
The fact is, you fellas, I've been saving up a bit of a surprise.
Surprise, Lord John? Oh, of what nature, may one inquire? Surprised the mind of George Edward Challenger.
Well, this will surprise you, old chap. You remember back on the plateau how interested I was in the pterodactyl swan?
Just to get the pterodactyl, surely.
It was the unfortunate specimen which has escaped us forever.
Yes, but that wasn't all. You remember I said the pit was a volcanic vent full of blue clay?
I remember it well. Why?
There's only one place in the world would have seen the same thing, and that was... Hold on now. The Great De Beers diamond mine of Kimberley. I had several goes at the place, and this is what I found.
Diamond.
This little lot, I had them valued at Para. It's worth a minimum of £200,000. Of course, it's fair shares among us now. I won't hear anything else, mind.
This is most generous.
It's nothing of the kind. What'll you do with your 50,000, old chap?
Well, if you really persist, Lord John, I should found a private museum. The George Edward Challenger Museum.
And you, Summerlee?
I should retire from teaching in order to research.
I'll use mine, I think, for another expedition to the dear old plateau. And you, young fellow, 'cause you'll be getting married.
Not yet, Lord John. Not just yet.
Not just yet?
That's it. And I'm not altogether sure it's not a good thing. I think, if you'll allow me, I'd rather come along with you. So, in humble and thankful mood, I close this account. Our eyes have seen great wonders, and our souls are chastened by what we have endured, each in his own way. A better and a deeper man.
In the final episode of The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, adapted for radio by Peggy Wells and Barry Campbell, Professor Challenger was played by Francis de Wolff, Edward Malone by Kevin McHugh, Lord John Roxton by Gerald Harper, and Professor Summerlee by Carleton Hobbs. Chairman, Denis McCarthy, Dr. Illingworth, Hector Ross, Gladys, Carole Boyd, William Potts, John Bull. Special effects were by the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and other effects by Janet Mitchell and David Greenwood. Technical assistance was by Jock Farrell, and the serial was produced by Betty Davis.